Hello YouTubers, today I want to show you a simple experiment that anyone with a camera can do to prove that what we've been told about our moon is a lie. I took my wife for a golf cart cruise last night because we like to often drive around the neighborhood in the evening and enjoy the weather, and we came around the corner and saw the biggest moon that we've ever seen on the horizon. You know what I'm talking about, when the moon just looks enormous. So anyway, I took a photo, and this photo does not do it justice. You could see it, by your own naked eye, you could see the man in the moon, the whole deal. Like, it looked huge. And if I had a great camera with me, I'm sure I could have zoomed in and got all the detail that I wanted. Anyway, this is the best I could do with my cell phone. I took it with no zoom, and then I took it with 4x magnification. Now here's where the experiment gets interesting. I've been doing this for a while, and you can do it really simply. Just take a picture of the moon later in the evening, and then maybe one more photo really late in the evening, when the moon is at its zenith or the closest to right above your head. And you can take a magnified photo as a nice scientific control to make sure that you're not scaling things due to focus or glare. And of course, compare it later to make sure the relationship is correct. And at this point in the experiment, you're almost done, because you could show anyone you wanted, on your phone or whatever, that even though it looked huge on the horizon, it actually got a lot bigger. And that's not possible according to so-called science. And so if you're like me and you really hate lies and you want to just really stick it to them, then grab each one of these moons and let's bring them up here, and we're going to put them together and blow them up and compare them. Okay, now that I've got them side by side, I'm just going to cut the centers out and move them so we can see only the true light of the moon and none of the glare coming off of it around it. Okay, now a good way to get a measurement on these is to see how much the pixels change. So let's see how big the first one is. That is 30 pixels. Okay, let's compare that to the second photo. That is 57 pixels. And the third photo, that is 95 pixels.
You read the Bible, Ringo?
All right, let's see if the 4x magnification matches that, just to show that the instrument is calibrated properly, even though it's just a cell phone. Okay, 387. Okay, so if this is 95 pixels and this is 387, 95 times 4 is 380, so that's only off by 7 pixels. And that probably has something to do with the way I cut it out. But anyway, it's a nice control for the scientific experiment to take a normal photo and then a 4x magnification and make sure that they match up later in size reference, so that you're not like factoring in glare or something like that, or your camera didn't focus at the last second and change the size on you. Okay, so from 30 to 95, so it more than tripled in size. Let's do the math. 95 is what percent of 30? 316%, okay? And of course the change there from 30 to 95 then would be 100% less than that. 216%. 216%.
You can't handle the truth!
Let's compare this with what mainstream science has to say.
It's true that the moon does actually get larger and smaller in angular size. In fact, it can change by up to 13% in diameter.
Is that a fact? Well, ours changed 216%.
Mostly because its elliptical orbit takes it closer or farther from the Earth over time.
Okay, but this alleged orbit you're talking about takes a month. So what, you're saying 13% in 30 days?
During the course of a night, though, it's a really tiny change. And during the course of a night, though, it's a really tiny change. And a really tiny change.
Okay, so 13% over a month and a tiny change over a night. How tiny of a change are we talking?
The moon is actually about 2% smaller when it's on the horizon compared to when it's high in the sky.
Wow, 2%. 2% versus our 216%. Now I'm going to show you guys in a minute here how the priests of the religion of science come up with this 2%. Okay, so this ball they say we live on is supposed to be 24,862 miles in circumference. Divide that by pi to get a diameter of 7,918 miles, and divide by 2 to get a radius of 3,959 miles. Now, if the moon were 239,000 miles away, and if Earth were rotating at 1,036 miles per hour to get one full rotation every 24 hours, and if you were here on the ball, and the moon was over there at your horizon, then after rotating about 6 hours, the moon would be at its zenith above your head, making you about 3,959 miles, the Earth's alleged radius, closer to the moon.
You read the Bible, Ringo?
Divide that 3,959 into 239,000 miles and you get 1.66%. The religion of science is telling you that you are 1.66% closer, but they're rounding it up to 2% over the course of a night.
The moon is actually about 2% smaller when it's on the horizon compared to when it's high in the sky.
Okay, so why then am I able to prove all of that wrong with one simple cell phone camera experiment showing clearly that the moon is changing its size by 216% over the course of an evening? Simple, because the religion of science is wrong. The Earth, the moon, the sun, and the stars are not at all what you've been programmed to believe since birth. Your poor science teacher probably had no idea that they were teaching lies, and they'd be mortified to find out, so please don't be mad at them. Understand that the lies come from much higher up. And you may really need to work now at not becoming bitter at those around you who refuse to look at these things. It's wonderful that you've begun to wake up and test things, but don't expect everyone else to do the same because sadly, they won't. Now, if you want to know why they lie, watch our next video. And from all of us here at In Awe of God, thank you for watching, and God bless.